Good morning, Roll Gang, and welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am your host, Processor Sky, here to smoke some weed and do some cannabis news with you guys. It is MJ BizCon week here in Las Vegas. I'm about to go head to the BizCon, represent the squad over at Canna One Expos. Another expo promoter here in Las Vegas, and I'm about to travel the floors and see what there is to see over at the biggest cannabis convention in the world. But before I do that, I gotta wake and bake with the Roll Gang, because after all, it's stoner law. We have awoke, so now we must have a smoke. And on today's episode, if this is your first time tuning into an episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, we go live every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and talk about some cannabis content. On today's episode, every Thursday, we hit some cannabis industry news. So, super excited to put on my Anchorman cap and share the latest and greatest in cannabis news with you guys. But before I do that, quick shout out to the sponsors of the show, because they make it happen for the Weekday Wake and Bake and help out the Roll Gang at the same time. First and foremost, WWnB University, the first ever cannabis college and the place to go to claim your stake in this budding industry. Use promo code Rolling Spoon to get 10% off your home grow course tuition or your cannabis business courses tuition. So hit up WWnB University, the place to go to boost your cannabis knowledge. The first ever cannabis college. And also, this episode is brought to you by the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool, the original multi-tool for scooping your cannabis from your grinder to your bowl piece or your paper. Boom. Just like that. That's how it's done. Helping me to roll a dime every time on every episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. Scoopy into the paper. Use the straight edge a little bit to even out the distribution. Like so. This is how you roll a dime every time, Roll Gang. I mean, they burn like a fucking cigarette. But there ain't no tobacco in here. Alright, let's get sparked here on the Weekday Wake and Bake and talk about some cannabis news really quick before I gotta hit the BizCon. Fuck yeah. Boom, we got our joint rolled up for the morning. We got our cannabis news stories ready to go. And let's get into it, Roll Gang. First and foremost, the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, major shout out, Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, who's partnering with cannabis companies to ensure that consumers in New Jersey continue to buy legal. And they're also supporting a home grow initiative, which is the pinnacle of the new market. You know, if it's legal to consume weed, it should be legal to grow it. So shout out Governor Phil Murphy for considering home grow bills and also partnering up with cannabis companies personally for the help of the New Jersey citizens to get access to affordable and clean meds. Shout out Phil Murphy. Next up, we got a poll from Missouri. In Missouri, it was actually just considered a swing state for cannabis legislation. So a new poll for Missouri shows that 47% of Missourians support the legislation of cannabis versus only 39% who oppose it. So really, really massive advantage for the Cannabis 420 friendly squad out in Missouri. And it looks like it's going to be legal there soon. And then we have a piece of cannabis news here in Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada. The state just legalized consumption lounges, allowing consumers to have a legal place where they can consume cannabis. So the Nevada lawmakers received over 100 consumption lounge applications and plans to approve a bunch of them in early 2023. So excited to go to a consumption lounge here in Vegas, smoke it up with some friends or some people I just met, kind of like the bar scene of cannabis coming soon. We're going to be smoking weed in consumption lounges and dispensaries all over the city. Super excited for Nevada to issue these licenses. But it was really great news that over 100 applicants were received, and it just shows how much desire there is to be a part of this budding industry. Last but not least, here on this Can of News Thursday, legal cannabis markets are showing a decrease in lung injuries due to fake cartridges. So before the cannabis industry became a big thing, fake cartridges were huge. They put random chemicals in cartridges and sold them as weed. But now that the compliance is a big issue and legal states are selling clean cartridges, there's actually a decrease in lung injuries that occur due to fake cartridge use, which is really great news because we need real product if this industry is going to continue to move forward. The black market's just not going to cut it. I understand the cannabis fans that support only the black market and actually don't want cannabis to legalize, because as soon as cannabis legalizes, there goes the black market and all of the risk money associated. But in a real, in the market as it should be, that's the way it has to be, Black market individuals should have the first opportunity to use their experience for the white market, for the legal cannabis market, but it hasn't been that way. And you just have to chop wood and try to switch over, get your legislation, and use your dominant experience to give you your advantage if you're trying to go from the black market to the legal market. But death to the fake cartridges, death to the illegal cannabis market, and boost the legal markets coming up. Shout out New Jersey, Phil Murphy for the new legislation. Shout out Missouri for wanting to become legal. Nevada with the consumption lounges, and the whole country decreasing the amount of fake carts. I am about to go hit the MJ BizCon and go to work. Got to go and collect some information about all these amazing vendors. But you will see me there. I will post some Instagram content for you guys. But as always, love session with y'all. I will see you tomorrow morning for Fuck Yeah Friday. You know the drill. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. With your host, Procession Scott. Mwah! Love you, Roll Gang.